Welcome back to Out of the Rough, ProVisors edition. I'm your host, Fred Arnold, and I'm here with Gary Saenger. Gary Saenger is the founder and president of Saenger & Associates. But Gary and I met. Gary's a group leader of ProVisors, a networking group that we both belong to. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fred. Very nice to be here.
Absolutely, and I'm excited to do this interview. And in the first part of this interview, we're going to talk about ProVisors and how ProVisors can help you build your business. But before we get to that, tell me about your company, Saenger & Associates.
Saenger Associates, a retained executive search firm. And what that means is we do headhunting. We do job executive management professional folks for our corporate clients. Our corporate clients are typically middle market organizations, and we go and find them executives to keep their company growing.
So that's what you do with your day job.
That's my day job.
Yes, your other job is to be a leader in ProVisors, and it's a group that I was recently introduced to. I went to my friend Lloyd Treat, and I said, Lloyd, I'd like to be a part of a group that maybe of professionals that maybe aren't startups, but those that have been in the community or been in the business world for some time, who network once a month. I was specific about that, for the common goal of building each other's, knowledge, networking, professionalism. Tell me about ProVisors.
The big picture on ProVisors, it was founded some 20 years ago. We now have more than 2,500 members throughout the country. Most of those are in Southern California. And we are in that opportunity to be in an advisory role to our corporate clients. And so the common person's background, the background of profession is lots of lawyers, bankers, CPAs, financial types, consultants, insurance. We're there in groups of 30 to meet once a month, and we really then become an opportunity to be better at advising our corporate clients, because I have a whole bunch of professionals that can help me be a better resource to my corporate client.
You know, we talk about a lot of businesses that are national, where they have a big board of directors to get advice from.
Yes.
It's kind of like, it doesn't matter whether you're a professional lawyer with one assistant and that's it, or you're a big company. You have a board of directors on ProVisors, which is the other members of ProVisors that are giving you advice.
The advice is, oftentimes business owners are in a pretty lonely position. And so their inner circle as to who advises them, and again, whether it's the lawyer, whether it's the banker, whether it's the real estate person, we are then in a group of advisors that help us run our business better. And so we share common best practices. We share the opportunity to give leads, give introductions, give recommendations, and then of course when that happens, you then get leads, you get commerce.
Yes, and I like that. You give leads, but you give introductions has been a big opportunity for me in my business, is meeting other people. It's not necessarily about the lead, it's about growing my business, being a better me, being a better giver, being a better professional. And there's one thing I want to talk about, getting down to something that's a ProVisors specialty, and that's the Troika. First time I've ever heard of it. Explain what the Troika is.
The Troika is getting to know your fellow members in a social setting. And whether it's a drink after work, whether it's lunch, or whether it's an activity, 3 people getting together, maybe 4, getting together and spending an hour and a half, so you learn what's on the front of their business card, what they do with their clients, what's on the back of their business card in terms of family, hobbies, and they become best of friends. I have many of my best friends are now from the ProVisors organization, which I've been a member of now for nearly 12 years. Mm-hmm.
And you're the founder out here in Santa Clarita. You started right when it started, right about that?
I did start the group out here, and okay. I think you're over-exaggerating. I sit at the front of the table, and I lead best of field, best athletes like yourself in the variety of business functions. And we then have an organized opportunity to exchange commerce, to exchange leads. Some of it's educational, some of it's an opportunity to learn more about what the economic trends are. And that's what we try to balance it with.
So on these meetings, we get together once a month, and we get together, you can get together many different places. We happen to get together at someone's business.
Right.
We sit around tables, and we'll have a topic of the month that we will discuss. And so it's not necessarily where you're just passing leads and say, I have a lead for this person. No, we're talking about topics. Some of the topics we've done in the past is, how are we seeing business growing? Give us some of the other topics we've discussed.
Yeah, that's a great point. The idea of, in this most recent meeting, we had an executive here to tell us about the Economic Development Corporation of Santa Clarita. And he was very pointed in the idea of how we can keep growing this valley. We would have the same thing in the county, in the state. You know, what economic trends are happening out there that you ought to be worried about or concerned about? What trends are you seeing with your clients as how you can better help them? Yes, we try to stay state of the art as it relates to what's going on in the local, the national, and the global economy.
Yeah, and we also, almost have a, code of ethics. I mean, there is a clear code of ethics on conducting your business as a ProVisor member.
Great point. The code of ethics are really simple. We've got to trust one another. We've got to be able to know that, first of all, we like them. First of all, they can do great business. But the integrity is we don't sell to one another. We are there to try to help one another's clients.
Yeah, I love the idea. It's about you first, not yourself first. And that's the way it should be.
Well stated.
Yeah. Now, with ProVisors, they don't lock out your industry. So multiple lawyers can join, multiple bankers can join, multiple mortgage brokers can join. The key to it is they're picking great people, not necessarily hand-picking professions. We're picking great people.
That's really a perfect point because there's not exclusivity. So we are going to have 6 to 8 to 10 lawyers in a group, and oftentimes they might be precluded from providing services to some of their clients because of conflicts of interest. And also, if you're making an introduction, why not give 2 or 3 sources to make those services happen?
Well, what I found in our ProVisors is the bankers seem to be the best source of leads to the other bankers. The financial guys are the best sources of leads to the other financial guys, and they're in the same business. They're actually competitors. Now, we happen to have, in our world, we have a large, a mid-size, and small size bankers just working together that offer different specialties. So it's really quite unique.
I agree with you. And I think by staying away from the exclusivity, that's one of the ways that this business, this organization, frankly, has been around for more than 20 years.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And you do have the responsibility to attend, to go to the troikas, to adhere to the code of ethics. Those that want to get involved, because we certainly wanted to do a little bit of information to those that may want to get involved. How can they reach you here in the Santa Clarita Valley, and then the website for ProVisors?
Great, thank you. You could go to ProVisors.com, ProVisors.com, or go to SangerAssociates.com, and that could link you there as well.
So that's ProVisors, ProVisors.com.
Exactly.
Perfect. You mind sticking around? We're going to do an interview on you and your business, because I want to know more about what you do every day on your executive
That'd be a
search.
pleasure.
Great. We're going to jump to a quick break, and we'll be right back.